I just wanted to say something about our relatives that we love very much in Greece. And we told you that what happened to Abba, King Constantine of Greece, happened a long time ago. And we told you that the police and everyone that knows this, they saw me with the four kings. And all four were kings. And when they were made to leave, the one king that they showed you of, we were there, and we all had to be sent out, not because they didn't love them or didn't want any of us. They didn't want people to be hurt, and it was around they didn't want us to be hurt. And around the time that it happened, America was a bad USA sodomite, not Germany. People were telling lies that there were hijackings. And remember that there weren't any hijackings from America to Greece, and the Americans were doing that, not any Greeks hijacking planes to Greece, and they tried to start a war, and they even tried to make them eat human flesh. The Americans, but just not too many people have a flesh eating problem, so they came to start a war, and everybody said, "Go away! There's nobody's doing that from their coming here because we could see they did something to our relatives, the royal family. We told you that, okay? So and they that Glucksburg is Jewish. So help me God, I swear they are Jewish. Everybody knows that. And so make a long story short, we had to go out, and we went someplace, and then we came back. And so make a long story short, the four kings there were four kings, all brothers, and they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what was happening. And the last time that when I left and went to Cyprus, and then we were catching people that were trying to kill us and trying to take our identities. We caught some there too, and they were caught, so they were angry. They were imposters Charles's people trying to take over Cyprus. Both sides of Cyprus get along. And it was a beautiful place to go, and we have both castles, all castles on both sides, and we're the king and queen of Cyprus. Me and my beloved realm, my cousin Shalom Lakshali. And so, make sure they started the war. Bad to say, people, they're wrong, and so they were trying to take over things like we're trying to take over Greece, and that's what they did to them. And but I'm telling you, only these things that what we remember, and what we went through, and so that's what you saw happen in Cyprus, and then they had the nerve to try to come and try to get inside and get citizenship. They're not coming there getting any citizenship. That just might not show me people, because they're the ones that started those wars and trying to take over. That's what they tried to do to Greece. Only it didn't work. Okay, because they don't know how to read our Tanakh and Torah, and they just told a lie. And Glucksburg is a Jewish last name. Glucksburg, Hohenstein, Jewish. They are Jewish last names, Jewish families. So we're Jewish. We told you that the separation never depart Judah, and um, the royal family of Greece, also Jewish. So I'm crying because when I was there last time in Cyprus, and I had his name and his phone number, and my the king's phone number, and my travel document, because it was I was told to put it in there. This is it. And so because everybody saw me with him, this is it. And but then they got a death threat of people in Cyprus that weren't from there. The Apostles Charles, we caught those people, by the way. They were dealt with. And they were mad because they couldn't further their things. They weren't from Cyprus either, and they were trying to take over Cyprus and Greece. And Greece, they were bad USA Sodomite Nazi Germany people, and they were caught. But but when he got a death threat, they called him and threatened. I even heard him say that they had done that. We gave we told your uncle, your dad, we'll kill you. But that there's people that were caught in Cyprus, this returned to, so he tried to help us. From what I understand, he came to Cyprus and he went back, and bad you say Sodomite Nazi German people almost obviously saw him and did something to him. It happened a long time ago. So I'm crying because he saw me with him. He loved us very much, and we loved him very much too. I remember when you saw me go to the hotel where that they tried to they tried to steal my bag, and they did steal my bag. And police didn't trying to tell me what happened. The bad say sodomite, that's when people cut people. That's right. They're Jew, and they're too helping by just Jewish people, and they stole that roll bag of mine. So I had to go to the police, and they said they couldn't find it, but they wouldn't have been able to find it. And they were trying to help remember things that had happened inside that hotel. We have plates from the we had plates. They're probably not there anymore. place people go when we leave our palace areas from the royal palace, and they were trying to help remember inside in from our dining room and the dining area in the palace in the royal china, so and not bone china where you can't eat on it, but china that you can eat as it on as a Jew. So just to let you know. Just I'm crying because that is a picture, and I'm looking at it, and they did that to them. They didn't do anything to America. America lied. They were trying to take over things. Bad, you say sodomite, not sure people, and then they started to try to make them eat human flesh. Say, well, if it's a war, there won't be any food because they have a vegetarian problem. They're not going to be eating any humans. They're the ones. Abba Constantine said, everybody knows the wars on earth stem from the war of the devil trying to overthrow God in heaven. And basically said, and everybody knows that you can see the fallen mix of fallen things. The bad to Mount people were stirring people on Mount Olympus. Yes, it still exists, Mount Olympus, telling people they were gods. And Beyonce, aka really a man in their secret service, really criminals, drinking wine and liquor and scaring the people, telling people that's what they were. And people don't believe that. They have records like other people, India and people in Italy and people in Scandinavia. They have records of these fallen things doing things to people. So it's not a fallacy. It's not a myth. These things actually happen when they fell down on the earth and did things to people. So the people that mixed with them did it willingly, and so it just said, but some people didn't buy that, so didn't do those things. So the population that makes it will be. We're telling you, me and my beloved husband, actually, our Rothschild family, our family members, our royal families, our people, even animals, and we will make it, we will be. And basically said, so we just want to let you know too, our people will be, and our God is God on. He was Jewish, and he didn't he said it was all fake, all those things. And he said they're fake. The things they're mixed. The following things came back again, appeared in another form. Okay, so their Mary Magdalene is Athena. Not their Mary Magdalene is Venus or Aphrodite. It was a big harlot. Okay, and Athena was their Mary, and they said so, and not a virgin. She ate her own baby. So they kept coming in different forms, trying to reinvent themselves, trying to still do things against our beloved royal God is God alone. Now some of the Levitical priests, because they don't believe that, will come from Greece, because they never thought that they never liked the Catholic people. They knew that what they were doing was a lie, and they never believed in those things. They believed what we said, and basically said, so we just wanted to let you know, to people. We told you that our family members were frightened of our relative in Denmark. He was tired of people not. He was Rothschilds, tired of people not knowing that they weren't Jewish, and he had this beautiful coat, and it was blue and white, and it had the star of Magen David all over it. It was beautiful, embroidered. And he used to wear it inside the palace, and then in Denmark. And then one day he said he was tired. He went outside in the square, and we know Mary was sent by Apostle Charles. It has something to do with that, because they caught Marian, but that's why you don't really see her, because she's not around. And so Apostle Charles has sicked her on Denmark, basically said, and sicked her on Frederick, basically said, and so so that's what happened to them. America trying to take over Denmark, and they had something to do with hurting. They sent Mary. Mary was. We had visions where Frederick had a wife, and she looked like Doda Ima of Queen Margrethe of Denmark, and they somebody killed her before he could have their public wedding. So he was really upset about that, and everybody knew Mary had something to do with that. So Apostle Charles is marrying. That's why there are no collect phone calls to I think it's Sweden. And you can't make a collect phone call, so because of Mary and Apostle Charles. To make a long story short, to Sweden, and so to make a long story short, he wore that coat, and when he wore that coat, somebody stabbed him to death. So they're the family's Jewish, and I told you that Abba, Prince Pablos of Greece, he was the first one to be murdered. He wanted to prove that angels came to visit us like Abraham. And he was the first one of the God protocol teams to be murdered. And we know that the Betty 600 Germany people did that to him. So because we were little kids, me and my beloved husband saw bad American and a German dressed in strange clothes that took him from the water port, and we roamed around on Rhodos. We couldn't find anybody. We were really small because he told us, run, 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 children, run. We ran, and then we were like disoriented because what we saw, and basically sitting. And then he came back, and they found us. Our family found us, and people helped us. And then he came back to the palace in Athens, and he was in a body bag. They found him dead, and some weirdo about the side of Mount Australian person came wearing his nautical. He's wearing a nautical jacket all the time, wearing his nautical jacket, saying he was Prince Pablo of Greece. They went around trying to stalk us and trying to take our identities, and they said, and they did it to him, but they could never take his identity. We told you that Dana Hutton, aka Aaliyah, had something to do with that. Bush's relative, Jenna's sister, it's different too, and they're really, and she was Bush's wife, and just really quite weird the things they tried to take Greece, and they don't know how to read the Tanakh and Torah, and they hurt Greece that way, and so I'm crying because everybody saw me with him, and I'm looking at the picture, and I can see the picture because we love him very much, and they put us in like succession. Okay, Greece, you know that we became the king and queen of Greece. Me and my beloved husband actually, and they made us king and queen regent of Greece. I really didn't have any comprehension of that. He just tried to make us understand that you will see it is stronger than the king and queen of Greece, for the simple fact that if something happens to the king and queen of Greece, then we're able to help the king and queen of Greece and help the people. We become king and queen of Greece. We're able to help the people. So we just let genetic into. So that's why I'm crying, because they loved us very much, and he didn't like those false things. And it's like that man and he said all those things are phony in the window. But it's the fallen things that came and tried to plague mankind. And if you trace the things, you'll see that it's the same thing as the fallen things. That's a fake faith. That the Christian faith, the Catholic faith is fake. It's not real. All Shinto, Buddhist, and all those other things, that's not real. That's not God. Our beloved God, who's God, the King of the universe, our God is God alone. Our God is the true God, and everybody knows that, including Greece. So you see people that are not around, that they showed you. Princess Anne, she's gone. Okay, so her and her husband were killed in a traffic accident. They tried, Betty says talking about national people. Philip, he's gone. They're gone. Okay, Doda Ima Nasika. Princess Chantal, she's gone. Abba, Prince Pablo of Greece, they're gone. They're not around. People. I saw the Galilean man murder Abba, Princess Chantal was in a car with her. They said, we're having a party. We told you that. It was the most saddest party. They were all worried about what trying to keep me and my beloved husband actually safe. So we were little, like I bite my lip and cry because I saw what that man did, because the Galilean man had already tried to kill me and my beloved husband actually, and he admitted that he tried to kill us. He thought he could get away with that, but he was on trial. They postponed the trial. It wasn't that he was innocent. They postponed it for a reason. And he ended up in Athens. We told you that we were having a party, and she was Princess Chantal was explaining to me about how to be a good Jewish wife, and talking to me that day. We were going getting beautiful clothes for our party, and that man came like the Mission Impossible movie. Hit the back of the car, and we saw the gas gauge go down in the tank. She said, lock the door. We locked the doors, but he popped the lock. He had a ski mask on, the kind of mask you wear like when it's cold, where you only see your eyes and maybe your mouth might be out. And he said, and he popped the lock in the silencer, like in a movie, like the screw-on kind of thing. And he that you see on TV, he popped the lock with the bullet and said he wanted, and he lifted up his ski mask. He said he wanted us to see who was killing us, and so we just said, and then he called her a bee, and then he shot her like that. She slumped over like that and tried to put all her weight on, so he couldn't pull her out, as much weight as she could possibly put. And I kept trying to go around to the other side to try to shoot me, but the traffic started coming. We always have guards you can't see, and the guards saw. So to make a long story short, So that and the people start coming, and so he wasn't able to do that. He went off in his car, but he was so ugly and so wicked. Brad say Sodom after me. Soldier he was. I want to say that word. He's a dirty. I want to say it, that an N word, because that's what he was. It means criminal. And so it says nigger means criminal. It means just looks like crooked and stingy and wicked. It's not a color. So he came back on a motorbike. We told you this before. And then he was like, he knew me, and he was, and he knew I lived in another part of Greece. He did like on the island too. Sometimes he lived on the island sometimes, but he wasn't. He was going to try to take me back and kill me. And then like I'm taking this, taking. The man said, "You're not taking her any place like that." Our guard saw. I was terrified when he came back on a motorbike, and the guard said it was him, wasn't it? And I said, yes, it was him. And so he was being dealt with for what he had done to Princess Chantal. And so he was, last time we went to Greece, not this last time, but before we went to Greece, and we were able to catch that man. He was the one that had all those so-called daughters. They were old. He dwarfed them. He said kept them shrunken with those shots, and the shrunken ones had killed the fake mother who was looked grown up like the man, the Galilean man, and so make a long story short. They killed her, and then but the other ones were grown too, and they were like, he was like they were like harlots, so long story short, and pretending to be little kids. And so when they got caught, they were deformed. You can try to show that they had shots, and they were really old. We know that, and then they took those shots, and they really got real out of proportion. But he was finally caught. Because every time he thought nobody was looking, he'd try to come and kill me, and the security would pop out, and he'd try any kind of way. He knew he was gone, because we know that he had something to do with the death of Abba, Prince Pablos of Greece, and doting Princess Chantal. I saw that man do that. I saw him do that, and he knew he was already in trouble for being in Athens, because there was a trial. And he was on trial for trying to kill me and my beloved when we were trying to make the park beautiful, and there was a gazebo, and he tried to cut us with it. He said he had saved that Vienna sausage can, the pork sausage can, top for a long time, to try to cut our genitals out and leave us dead in the park. And we had just really a sick USA sodomite Nazi Germany government. So that's what they did to them. So but there is no, when they say the last king, the king that was before for us, because there is a king and queen of Greece, and that's me and my beloved cousin Shaman. Actually, if anybody ever saw how they treated me, they would have known that it was that we were something. Because Betty said, people kept trying to, when they sent those people to that hotel, and the man from the government of America, he said he had retired. He walked like he was 82 years old, not 62, 62. He was getting smart. People have everything, blah blah blah, and he was a sodomite. And I heard him with the fake the Syrian, that seemed like they were doing something together, and they were both sodomites, and he was the sodomite, the Syrian sodomite, so-called Syrian, which was any Syrian, because he turned out to be a male harlot. But they don't have that. So the king queen of Syria. So we know what bad news Nazi Germany people did. They tried to destabilize and do dirty things to people, and basically they're gone now, because we know that they go into and they won't ever be again. Bad news Nazi people, they go away. There would be no more dirty things on the planet. That's a new heaven, a new earth. Not how they tried to kill everybody, and then that's really, it's the devil that you see that have been trying to do things to us, and everybody that's decent, and all the fake and phony things they teach. So and we tell the truth, for it's our beloved road, God is God alone, who's King of the earth, and we are the good people. And me and my beloved husband, Sean Lee, our beloved Rothschild's family, our beloved Shabtai Shabidi members, our beloved family members, our beloved kinspeople, our kinspeople, we're a beautiful animal. Our animals are good. So and our our beautiful and very, very, very large kingdom, the largest kingdom there ever was and ever will be, a beautiful land, all that kingdom, the eternal kingdom, our kingdom lasts forever and ever, never to be destroyed, never to be transferred to other people, is good too. And of course, our beloved royal God, who's God, who's King of the universe, and who's the true God, is awesomely beautiful and good. So we just wanted to say that to you. We love him very much. All of them. They're 4 kings. And they don't know anything about how Greece does things, but they saw of certain things, and they just Nazi people just kill and try to take things. They're Nazis, minus our people, and so that are trapped over there and have to come out. We showed you them running people over on the streets, and they're blacks and whites both, and killing people, obviously, and going in different places that we have. That was Bush that did the mosque in the English part of our home, basically in New Zealand. So because we had pictures, we showed you that. And somebody said, and they let us be able to tell that's Bush. But they said they can get a newer looking car. When he tried to clean up that he had kidnapped us, he said he bragged about how he had that car, and they couldn't get away with it. My DNA was in the car. They tried to chop the car so he couldn't. When he pretended like he didn't know me, and he was caught off the coast of Alaska trying to pretend he didn't know me because I didn't remember that I was drugged. I didn't remember him. That man had kidnapped us. And they just said, whatever he does, don't give him your things. They just tried to tell. Francis tried to tell me he'll try to take your things. I didn't remember anything of what had happened because they had been drugging me and took too. And he tried that. I'm like, I can't give you that. That belongs to Russia. You're not taking that. That man tried to kill me. And I didn't remember anything. And then they tried to chop the car, and they've been caught. It's so bad. It's sodomite, not German people. Because they did something to Greece, and it's wrong what they did, and it's incorrect. Greece has the same time as Jerusalem, Israel. So we just want to say it again to you too. The Baptists said not treat people wrong. They tried to hurt everybody and tried to take their things. They're nasty people. They're the Nazis, the ones that you saw, and that we have that we tell you that are involved in abduction and trying to hurt me and my beloved Melchizedek, actually, our Rothschild's family, our separated obedient families, our family members, our kinspeople and sister people, and how they were trying to force steal our things and trying to hurt our very, very large kingdom, the largest kingdom there ever was and ever will be. Beautiful land, holy art kingdom, eternal kingdom that lasts forever and ever, never to be destroyed, never to be transferred to the people. We win. The bad people lose, and our people who are hurt will come back. That happened a long time ago. What you see. And so, to Abba, King Constantine II that you see. We just wanted to say it again to you too. Our other one relative who was the king, also he'd come out and he'd get his clothes and make him look like they were dirty. I remember that too when the police said, "Go talk to your uncle," like that. And so when I saw him, I remembered that he would take those clothes. They weren't like dirty like that, but they looked oily. He used oilcloth, and he was also the king too of Greece. And there were four. But like how our kings are all of our relatives had the king position, and just to show that we have a line of succession. And then me and my beloved royal Melech husband Shabbat actually became king and queen of our things. So we just want to let you know too, in our very, very large kingdom, our family put us in line of succession so their people would be. And because they believe what our beloved royal God, who's God alone, has said, because they're Jewish and they could see. So we just wanted to say that again to you too. We'll talk to you as soon as we can. I saw how they were upset at whatever it was, the memorial that they were having. The people just didn't know, and so, but there were people that probably did know and were going to try to hurt them. But everybody that was there, that you see, Anna's gone. She left a long time ago. Her husband is gone. They did the best sodomite, not sure people did things to them, to our family members, and we're the only children of the royal family and the grandchildren in Greece that are left. We're part Greek. We couldn't be the king and queen of Greece if we weren't part Greek. And we had our anointing at the synagogue. Abba, the Prince Pablos told everybody in the square, we had just been anointed and who we were. He was still around. We just want to let you know that again too, so people know. Like that so-called wedding they had, everybody knew why. The people who were real knew why I wouldn't have gone, because it wasn't real. And so we just want to let you know again too. They were trying to. Everybody just said, not sure people were trying to take things that don't belong to them. They're not the Greek royal family, and they're not the Danish royal family. We became king and queen of Denmark as well. And so we just did it too. So that you could see they were trying to do things. So all the people that they had the nerve to get from the people that they were mad because I didn't go. I was supposed to go because it wasn't real. So the royal family of Greece has always been Jewish. So I just want to let you have again too. So and we're the king and queen of Greece, and we are Jewish. And that's our family that they hurt. We're telling you the things that the Betty just said about not sure German people that they started trouble, and then everybody knew they lied. And then go away. We said nobody's hijacking things here except you. We said so. We just let them again too. We told you these things before. The Betty said some not sure people lost, and so they go away. And we said that they did a terrible thing to people. Nobody needs military bases in everybody's countries. Everybody knew they were trying to do things. It was all starting trouble and everything and trying to say they didn't do anything. Everybody saw them. The police team was to catch them. And all of Greece knows that they tried to take us out of our marriage bed and kill us or put other people in our things. Abba, King Constantine of Greece. Everyone knows what that is that Nazi German people tried to do. That's all we wanted to say to you. And wanted to say about our royal family from Greece and our other royal family members that were hurt that we love very much. Love them so very much. We just wanted to say it again to you too.